Thank you so much. I'm here with James Rosenthal, Director of Global Agency at Google. He is the gentleman that works with WPP. Martin Sorrell just gave him a compliment as he was walking off set. Martin said in my interview with him that Google listens better than Facebook in terms of taking feedback from a partner like WPP. I will open you off with a softball. Why does he say that? How does Google work with WPP? Why does Google need to work with WPP? Isn't it click, click, click?
If only it were that simple. Thanks, John, and thanks for having me on.
Of course.
I think we have maybe been working with WPP for longer. We've been around for longer. You know, you used to work for Google. I think we realised that with partners, the best way to get stuff done is by listening and not trying to impose what we think is the only way things can work.
And I think a lot of people don't understand how big the agency team is at Google and how big the agency business is. How does it work? I mean, because people think of Google being AdWords, being a self-serve type platform. Explain how an account team works with a Fortune 500 client.
That's a great question. So we have sales teams which are experts in their particular sectors and they're experts in the particular fields who will work with our largest customers directly out of our main offices around the world. So that would be in New York or London and a range of other large companies around the world in other countries. And I think essentially we try and get under the skin of those clients and understand what their marketing objectives are, and then how our products and platforms can help them achieve those objectives, whether it's selling shampoo or cars, getting people to sign up for mortgages, whatever it might be. So, and those teams will then work hand in hand with our agency teams. So we have agency teams too, so we can try and work together to make sure that what clients want to do is what agencies are already helping them do, and it is obviously more complicated than self-serve ads. It's like thinking about...
And does your team sell YouTube now?
Yes.
Okay, because when I was at Google, there was a back and forth. At first, the YouTube team is separate. When a person on your team walks in to work with either an agency partner or Fortune 500 customer, they're selling them direct response search and they're selling them YouTube. Is that correct?
No, I don't think with our largest customers, I don't think we're going in to sell stuff in the sense that we have got to a point where we are hopefully sort of trusted advisors.
Yes.
I think that's, we're salespeople, but we're coming in and we're trying to figure out what it is they're trying to do. If it's P&G, what is the aim this quarter in terms of shifting washing powder? Like, what can we do? How can we help them along that path? And whether it's using search for performance, like DR, as you said, or for brand, or YouTube.
Right, we would have like you objected to the word selling. So
not at all. I think selling is noble.
But explaining and moving, I agree with that. Explaining and moving dollars to YouTube. When you send a person in to talk to P&G, that person is working with that client on both search and on YouTube. Is that right?
Yeah, we've tried to make sure that our sales folks, me included, are confident and comfortable selling both things, understanding how they interrelate, understanding how YouTube works versus TV, not necessarily versus, as well as whatever it might be, and the way that I suppose they will look to get the most out of that client is doing things that work and testing and seeing how it goes.
Yes, and how much are you seeing clients lean into all of the sort of new initiatives that you've done, whether it's something in VR or a new type of development in Android or things of that nature? Are you able to bring the advertisers along for that journey as that becomes a mainstream product?
Yeah, it's interesting. Actually, that's a really good point, because I think we are at a point where you have lots of clients or everyone will come in and say, hey, we want self-driving cars.
Right.
We want like blood sugar testing contact lenses.
Yes.
But the reality is they might not be doing the rest of the basics. They haven't really nailed it. From time to time it happens, right? So I think we would like to see and help them get the plumbing fixed so they're confident using all the good stuff and getting all the good ROI, and then take them, as you say, on a journey so that they get all the great new stuff. But I think it's also harder for us always to... We can't deliver self-driving cars to everyone. It's, right. You know what I mean? It's like a balance.
On the last earnings call, Sundar talked about the massive amount of YouTube consumption that was occurring in the living room. And I think that really caught people by surprise. It was 100, I can't remember what the 100 hour, it was 100 something.
I think it was 170% up year on year or something like that, but thereabouts.
How is this living room thing going in terms of servicing the clients? Are you able to explain to clients now that they can get a nearly audience-based experience with YouTube that they were prior getting on a television set with the linear TV?
Yeah, so then, the numbers speak for themselves.
Yes.
Insofar as if you're a strong marketeer, you'll look at the data, you see what we're saying. If you want it validated by third parties, you get it validated by third parties. Feel comfortable, and then we would suggest testing. Do you watch YouTube at home on your main screen, or do your kids?
We all watch on our tablets, and I watch on my computer. I don't quite, I'm a huge YouTube consumer, but I haven't quite done it, and I'm a huge connected TV, but I don't quite do it on the TV yet.
I've started doing it. There are certain things that I really like in the UK, you don't get the US late night shows, like Fallon, Kimmel, Colbert. So they will come into my subscription feeds, and when I'm at home at night, I just flick through them. It's just like watching on,
What about
on my
YouTube,
laptop.
YouTube TV? Is that something you can take to market yet, or is that too nascent?
I don't know very much about that.
Okay, that's
frankly.
US-based. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's something that is ongoing, but no, I'm not sure if we're there yet.
All right, well, James, it's been a pleasure having you. James Rosenthal, Director of Global Agency at Google. Really appreciate it. Back to you guys in New York.